Hey everybody, it's Sherri here with you today. Just set something up real quick. All right, there we go. How's everybody? Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited because I am going to be teaching some virtual classes coming up soon. And there has never been a more important time than right now for everybody listening to learn how to do Reiki. I think energy healing is the future, and I was told that about 10 years ago when I started my journey. 15 years ago. I'll tell you guys a little bit about me. I wanted to be a surgeon most of my life. I really was heavily into medicine, and I decided to work with animals. And I went back and forth on being a vet or a human doctor, and people grossed me out, so I decided not to do that. But I really wanted to do surgery, and my guides told me a long time ago that is not the future. And at that point, I had no idea what they were talking about, and it really didn't make sense to me. But I was guided to learn energy medicine, and they said that innately I already knew how, and so does everybody on the planet. And I would understand that later in life. And now, fast forward 12, 15 years later, it makes a lot of sense to me, because this energy healing is so much more than people understand it to be. And it really is the future of medicine. And it's changed my life in so many ways. And I use it for so many different things. And there are a lot of people out there that are Reiki masters, and they are spreading the word, and they are teaching many people. And it's so important right now for everybody watching to understand that anybody can learn Reiki. It doesn't matter your age, your background, knowledge, nothing, because it's really about tapping into your innate healing ability that all of us have, and anybody can do it. And so I really had a good time. A couple weekends ago, I taught my first official divinely guided children Reiki level 1 class, and these kids were vibrant, they were excited, and they did such a great job, and they can channel energy so easily. They already know on some level that you can do so many things with energy, and you can manipulate it, and you can move it around, and you can use it to balance the body, and they get it. They really get it. And some of the adults that I teach, I've taught hundreds of people over the years. I'm a Reiki master. My background is Usui Reiki, which is the original Reiki. And I really value the tradition of the Usui Reiki background and his philosophy, and what he did to create this energy modality for us to use as healers. And we're going to be moving into a place in time where I think that they're going to be teaching this in medical school, or medical school will shift. And this will be primarily what they're taught and what we learn in school, because it's so easy, but it's so profound. Hey, everybody, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Hey, Anthony, Netherlands, wow. California. Hey, Blake. Yeah. And I'm the same way. So I'm a nurse actually for animals. I've been working with animals for almost 20 years. And so I've worked in the intensive care unit. I've done years of surgery. I have done almost a decade at a zoo, working in the hospital, working with exotic animals. And, it didn't fulfill my soul the way I thought it would. And I realized that energy was so much more powerful, and these animals need so much more than the care that they're given, that I just felt pulled in a completely different direction. And so I feel like there are a lot of nurses, and a lot of the people that I teach, I would say in the last 2 years, predominantly are therapists, they're nurses, they're doctors, they're chiropractors, acupuncturists. They come to me because they want to integrate Reiki or massage therapists. They want to integrate Reiki into what they already do, which I think is incredible. I'm big on integrative medicine, and I love the idea of combining different modalities. So that's what I do. I do sound healing. I do quantum high frequency healing. I use Reiki in my sessions. I do soul retrieval. There's so many different things and so many different aspects that you could go. Like energy is just, is just the foundation. And then what you do with that and where you go with it is really expansive and individualized with each person and how they choose to use it. But you can do anything. I've shrunk tumors. When I've done Reiki, I have helped people get through Crohn's disease and come out years later feeling completely normal without medication. I've helped people work through depression. I've helped people work through anxiety. I've helped people with their irritable bowel disease. I've helped people get through migraines. They've had migraines for half their life and it was debilitating. And after working with me, they are completely gone. And it's so energetic, and it has a lot to do with the metaphysical body. And so primarily in the last 3 or 4 years, I've switched where I do Reiki and I work on the physical body, but I work a lot more in the energy body and energy codes and doing soul retrieval and working through past life trauma and things like that, because I think that it's really infiltrated this current life where people have underlying health issues or chronic health issues or anxiety and things that they just don't have a reason for, kind of where they came from. And so when you look into past lives, you could see, well, you've had 5 lives in a row where you drowned and no wonder you're terrified of the water and you've never been in it, or whatever. I mean, you name it, I've seen it, I've experienced it through my sessions, and nothing surprises me anymore. And so it's all about like a well-rounded healing, where Reiki is one component of it, and then there are other things that you can add. But I think Reiki is really important because it is kind of a gateway energy healing where it kind of opens the door and gets people to shift into a higher awareness. And then where they go with that is just, I mean, the sky's the limit. But the attunements are so powerful. And I always tell people that I teach, after you receive your attunement today, you are likely going to experience a massive shift in your awareness and your abilities to channel energy and to recognize the symptoms and signs of energy and the density of energy and how it shifts, so that you know what is high frequency and what's low frequency. All of that energy has a feeling to it. And when you're attuned to it and you know how to work with it, you can feel it and you notice the difference. Some people who can't feel the energy, they see it in colors. So they see, high frequency energy would be more purples and golden and white lights and things like that. And then low vibrational energy is going to look brown, black, dark, icky, like smoke, things like that. And so they'll get to recognize the energy that needs to be removed, or if there are blockages in the body that they see with colors. And so there are so many different facets and ways that people can specialize and go with kind of their unique skills, because not everybody can see, not everybody can feel. And so everybody has to kind of figure out what their specialty is and work with that. Hey, Vera. Yeah, I think that Reiki should be taught in school and it should be free. And the issue with that is you need to find the right Reiki master out there that is teaching for the right reasons, that has the right skills, that have been attuned the right way, and that have really dedicated their life to really learning the principles, and not just doing it because it's cool or it's just something fun to do. If you don't know what you're doing, it's not a good idea to manipulate energy and call in energy if you don't know where it's coming from. My biggest teaching is protection. That's number one in every class I teach. I do a lot of intuitive development classes, and my number one rule in every class that I teach is protection. So you're calling on God, Christ consciousness, Kuan Yin, the universe, Archangel Michael, whoever you believe in, whatever you want to call, you call on protection, and make sure that that's the first thing you do, so that you are not opening yourself up and calling in the wrong energy, because there's a lot of negative energy out there. There's a lot of demonic energy, dark entities. And I'm only telling this to people because I learned the wrong way. So when I first learned Reiki, I was super excited. I wanted to do it on everybody. I didn't ask permission. I didn't ground myself. I just wanted to do good, but I was naive. And so I had some psychic attacks and some bad things happened to me, and I learned the hard way, but that's okay, because now I learned from that, and I use those experiences to make sure that when I teach people, I am the right type of mentor, where I guide people the right way and empower them to really focus on what they're doing and why they're doing it, because then your intention is very powerful. And so I teach a lot of that in my classes. And, I thought about today what I wanted to do with this video, and I thought, maybe I could teach a few things, and I will, and I'd like to do that. But it would be very irresponsible of me to teach in a format like this, where I can't individually coach people, because that is very irresponsible, because you really have to know what you're doing. Like I said, when you're working with energy, although it's very simple, there are some fundamentals that people need to make sure that they're using certain rules and protocols, so that you, like I said, are not inadvertently calling low vibrational energy, or having your energy drained, or calling in massive amounts of low vibrational energy, because there's a lot of it out there right now. And so making sure that you're protected is number one, and making sure that your intention is very clear. Who are you calling upon to protect you? What energy are you channeling? Where are you getting it from? And what is your intention to do with it? So those are all really important things that you need to be clear about when you're working with yourself, or you're working on other people. And you certainly shouldn't work on other people until you've kind of worked on yourself a little bit, unless you're in a class where you have an instructor there, really a practitioner that knows what they're doing, so that they can guide you, which is what I do in my classes. So I have some classes coming up. Reiki Level 1 is a virtual class. I'm only allowing 10 people in at a time. That way I can make sure that I work with you one-on-one, and I mentor you, because everybody I teach I always say they're a lifelong friend of mine. And I have people that I taught 4 or 5 years ago that still email me once in a while asking certain questions, because the thing about Reiki is you could take a 3-hour class and get all the information you need. But the important thing to know is that the questions that will come up, or things that will happen where you need guidance and mentorship on, comes way down the line. Sometimes it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be years. So I don't particularly like those Reiki centers that shuffle in a lot of people like an assembly line. Here, I'll teach you, attune you, and then you're out the door and you have a manual, and then that's it. It really is more. It's more intricate than that, and people really need somebody to mentor them long term. And so I'm committed to that. And when I work with people, I always tell them, I'm going to teach you what you need to know in this class, but things are going to come up over the next weeks or months as you experience and as you practice and as you work with different people. There's different energy, and it's not going to be the same one day to the next. And your abilities will enhance the more you're attuned, and the more levels that you take, and so on. And so people need guidance. Otherwise, they become lost and frustrated. And there are certain things that you just can't learn in a book. And so you really need that one-on-one guidance. So like I said, I've been teaching for quite some time. I've taught hundreds of people, but I'm really trying to structure a virtual class, because that's what's needed right now. And I consider my classes pretty cheap compared to a lot of the other Reiki masters out there. But if money is an issue with you, just email me and we'll figure something. I've worked with so many people through their financial situation, because I don't want anybody to not be able to do something because they don't have the money. So we'll figure out a way. Don't worry. So I have Reiki Level 1 coming April 17th, and that's 1:30 to 4:30. It's Eastern Standard Time. So just take note of where you are. I recognize that people all the way across the world are not going to be able to take this class at this time, but I'll offer something really early in the morning, my time, to accommodate those at some point, probably in May. I also have a really exciting series that I've come up with called, it's like an Ascension and Awakening intuitive energy healing class. And it's a 4-week, very intensive course. So each week we're going to be going through different levels of healing, and it's really intensive. And it's for those people who really want to take their energy healing to the next level. And it's like a full rounded course where you learn soul retrieval, past life regression, how to remove energy codes if you have them, how to remove blockages, how to clear and merge your timelines and merge them together, how to shift into a higher awareness, removing blockages, working with the chakras. I mean, just you name it, we're probably going to cover it. And so that's going to be Sundays coming April 11th for 4 weeks, and that's 2 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. So the links are in the description below if you want to register for any class that I'm offering, or if you just have any questions, the websites are in the description below. And so yeah, I want to talk. So does anybody have any questions? Because I do want to have a conversation with some of you guys and see what some of you are feeling right now. Let's see. Hey, Vera, it's nice to see you. Let's see, Blake. Yeah, I'm big on guiding people to do their own healing. Even when I have sessions with my clients that come to me for my intuitive energy sessions, one of my main kind of focuses is, you know, what can you do moving forward to empower yourself in your healing journey? So let me get you started, and then let's see how you can move forward on your own. My book, Intuitive Transformation Evolution, is all about that. You know, I really try to empower people to take their healing into their own hands, because everybody can do what I do. I promise you. It just takes intention, and it takes a willingness to really practice, and it's a lifestyle. You know, when you're in a higher awareness and you try to remain in the highest frequency possible, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's like your whole life changes. The way I think, the way I act, the way I communicate, the things that I do have all shifted dramatically in the last couple of years as I've really kind of embraced my awakening. And it's all about the food that I eat. Like I don't even eat dessert anymore. I don't care for sugar, cookies, like processed foods. Like I don't even miss it. You know, it's the music I listen to. It's the television shows that I allow myself to watch, if there are any anymore that I enjoy. The movies, most movies turn me off. There's so much violence on the TV, and it's unbelievable what they're programming our children to watch. I mean, literally, Netflix has softcore porn for my age group to watch, these high school and middle school shows, and these kids are having sex and making out and very sexualized, and I can't even watch it. And so they're grooming our children, and it's disgusting. Okay, there isn't anything to watch. And so, you know, it's how you think. It's your mindfulness, how you act, how you respond to things that you hear, how you respond to challenges. I mean, just every aspect of your life. It's being more mindful and having an awareness. And once you start to see yourself shift, there really is no going back, because you feel 100 times better. Okay, sorry. Hey, Suzanne, it's nice to see you. Mary. Hi, Chicago. Ooh, you're cold. It's really cold there. You don't, Mary, absolutely. And you know, historically too, they would make people wait like months and even years in between the levels. And I've taught Reiki level 1, 2, and not level 3. Level 1 and 2, I think that they're very integrative, and they are complementary. So like I'll teach Reiki level 1 and level 2 back to back in weekends. I think that they can absolutely be taught close together. However, my feeling about Reiki mastership, I only teach level 3 master Reiki like once a year, because I need to be sure that who's taking my class, like they're ready, because it's a big responsibility for me to say, okay, I'm teaching you everything you need to know, and you are a master now, and there's nothing else for me to teach you, and you know everything. I mean, that's a big deal. And so I don't take that lightly. So I really vet the people that I do level 3 with. And I would say 90% of the people I've taught level 3 have been my students that I have taught level 1 and 2. And so I knew they were ready, and some that wanted, and I said, you're not ready yet. And so, but there are others out there that will teach you level 3, and they just don't really care, and that's a shame, because they're just doing a disservice to the person that they're teaching if they're not ready for it. Yeah. Anne. Hey, Anne. Yeah. I can't watch a lot of that stuff either. I read Research and Meditate. How different is Reiki? I'm not sure. Is that a question or a statement? I'm not really sure. So anyways, okay, what I wanted to talk about is high frequency healing, soul retrieval, and removal of trauma codes. So I have noticed in my sessions in the last, I would say 6 months to a year, and it makes sense to me because a lot of people are waking up and they are searching for energy healers to help them through their trauma and their inner child work and things like that. And I will say the 3 most common things that I'm seeing in my sessions right now are trauma codes. So what are trauma codes? Or energy codes or imprints. When you have a lot of trauma in past lives, you can literally, and you have the same thing happening over and over, you can literally develop a code, like an energetic code that's imprinted in your auric field, in your energy body, that follows you lifetime after lifetime. So if you have been chronically ill, lifetime after lifetime, and you're in this life and you're chronically ill, one of the first things we check is, okay, do you have an illness code in your energy body that's making you sick? Because remember, our cells have cell memory. So when they replicate daily, they are replicating to the energy that they're responding to. So our mind, but also cell memory of past life trauma. And so they're getting those trauma codes over and over. So they're just replicating in a negative energy aspect, just one after another. So I've noticed that a lot of people have these energy codes that are anxiety, stress, dis-ease. I mean, you name it. It's out there. Another one is soul retrieval. I've been doing this work for many, many years, but I think that right now more than ever, a lot of people are looking for that well-rounded healing, and a lot of people who have trauma in a lot of these lives. I mean, the best way I describe it to my clients is, think about literally like you're a 100-piece jigsaw puzzle. So one of your pieces got lodged or stuck or is held hostage in that timeline, and that energetically. And so a piece of you, a fragment of you is missing. And it could be that one life, or it could be dozens of lives. It just depends on what happened with your timelines. And so I do something called soul retrieval, where I call in those fragments of yourself through a process of healing. It's a lot of things that I do. And it brings you all back to one. So imagine your jigsaw puzzle being complete, and you people feel just 100 times better. And so that's really common right now. What was the other one I was going to say? Oh, quantum high frequency healing. So I work a lot on the quantum field. So Reiki is the difference between like the quantum high frequency healing and Reiki. Traditional Reiki is it's really healing the body. It's really promoting balance and energy flow through the chakras and working with the physical body, which is very profound. But I think through my channelings of kind of my expertise and what I'm here to do has really navigated more to a quantum level, where I work multidimensionally with a lot of past lives. You know, when I learned Reiki through my Reiki master who taught me, we didn't talk about any of this stuff. It was just the fundamentals of Reiki, channeling energy, working with the chakras. That's it. So all of the knowledge that I've obtained over the years of learning how to do this quantum high frequency healing and soul retrieval and removal of codes has not been from a teacher. It's been from me channeling through a higher awareness, through my guides and my angels that work with me, teach me how to do these things. And sometimes it's taken me years to even be able to articulate what it is that I do. And I think I'm finally gotten to a point now where I feel like, okay, I understand enough so I can then teach it. Otherwise, I would never be able to teach somebody, because I'm not entirely understanding intellectually what I'm doing. And that's the difficult thing that people have with energy work is we're trained that 1 + 1 has to equal 2, and give me steps. I need to know tell me exactly what I need to do, step 1 to 10, and I'll follow that. And that you can't do that with energy healing. You can't do that when you're working in multi dimensions. You can't do that with the energy body. You can't do that with a lot of the work that we're going to be moving into. You have to get out of the left brain and tap into a higher awareness. And my guides have told me repeatedly over the years, stop trying to figure out what it is that you're doing. Stop trying to break it down, because you're never going to understand. And I think that's because it's not as an insult. It's not meant to be an insult to us humans. Our brain capacity is just not developed in a way where we can truly understand like every concept and everything that we're doing, because it's just so advanced, like way more advanced than our little human bodies and brains can process. So once I kind of embrace that and let that go, that part of me that needed to understand, okay, why am I doing this and how does it work? I just accelerated significantly in what I was able to do and what I was able to create because I let that go. And now I don't really want to understand. I just believe that it's possible. I'm sorry, Anne, what was your question? Oh, yeah, was your question. How different is Reiki? But see, I'm not understanding from what. Reiki is at least Usui Reiki that I'm trained in is Master Usui channels a method or a mechanism of healing the body where he teaches people that they have the ability to innately heal themselves through channeling energy from the universe, high vibrational energy. So when you're channeling energy, and you protected yourself and you kind of understand where you're vibrating, because I teach in my classes, they teach a lot about vibration and why that is important to understand and how it affects your ability to channel. So when you're at a higher vibration, you're able to channel more clearly. If you're in a low vibration, it's harder to do that. But really what you're doing is you're using your body as a vessel and telling the universe that or the divine, that I am requesting the highest vibrational energy at this time for my highest good. And you literally put your hands out and you ask the universe to channel that energy that's already in the atmosphere. But that's why you have to be clear about what it is that you're channeling and where is it coming from. I always say from the divine, for my highest good, for my highest healing only. So that will eliminate anything negative. And you put out your hands and it's all about manipulating and feeling the energy. And you will feel that energy flow through your body, out through your hands, and you feel tingling, you feel pressure, you feel sometimes a numbing sensation, cold, warm. I mean, everybody, a resistance. It's almost like you feel like there's just something in the air that you can't move your hand. I mean, everybody experiences differently the sensations. And so it's really just the sky's the limit. The other day, someone said something to me that I had never heard before. I can't remember what they said. It was like they felt like raindrops on their hand. I was like, I've never heard that before. But hey, who am I to say what's right? I mean, that's what you feel. So that's right for you. But you're channeling that energy. And then once it comes out of your hands, you're either putting it into an animal or a family member or somebody who's a willing participant. There's a whole ethics component to Reiki as well that I'm big on. You can't just do Reiki on anybody. You have to ask permission. And I do that through their higher self. So I teach people how to do that. And then you're channeling it into that person or yourself for the purpose of removing blockages. The body knows. The body's very intelligent. So it knows what to do with the energy once it's in. So I can put my hand on my head the entire time and my energy is going to go down to my toes if it wants. It's going to go in my heart if it needs. It's going to go down to my stomach area if it needs. It's going to go through the chakra system that's most appropriate at that time. So our bodies are so intelligent that it knows where to disperse the energy. So you don't even necessarily need to move your hands around. And so these are the things that you learn in the classes on what to do. But the energy helps with decreased inflammation. It helps with cell regeneration the right way, the positive with high vibrational energy. There's color, working with colors and energy that work differently with the body. When I work with bones, I use purple. When I want to decrease inflammation, I use blue. So it just, people develop their own kind of code system based on what they see. And it can be different for different people, but it's all about rebalancing the body and allowing the body to do the healing that it already knows how to do. So like, I'm not healing this person. It's not me. It's not me healing. It's me being a conduit of energy, channeling high vibrational energy through my body through years and many attunements that I've received to then transfer that energy into someone else. And then the energy and that person's body work together and they harmonize and they balance, and that person's body is doing the healing. So I'm not doing the healing. The person's body is doing the healing. Or if I'm channeling energy into myself, then it's my body doing the healing. Does that make sense? So everybody has the ability to heal themselves. And I think that as we move forward and we are anchored into the higher density, the fifth dimension, whatever you want to call it, we are just going to have massive downloads when we're in a higher awareness where people are just going to wake up and know how to do this, or they're just going to want to do this and they're going to be searching frantically for someone to teach them, and so there are people like myself. There are a lot of people out there that teach Reiki. You just have to find the right one. So I encourage you to talk to them, to listen to how they speak. And if they resonate with you and you feel warm about what they're presenting to you, then they're the right person. I don't believe in competition. I talk about this in my book. I believe everybody has one of my chapters is called Everybody Has an Energy. Everybody has their line. And what that means is I believe that everybody on the planet has an energetic line of people behind them that they're meant to help at some point in their life. It could be a very small, like moment interaction, it could be lifetime, it could be a family member, but you're meant, and it could be strangers, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a line of people that they're meant to guide or help in some way, assist in their life. And it could be short and it could be very long. And that's why I believe that there's the right person in the right moment to teach you the right thing. So I could teach you Reiki level 1, and then you're feeling like, oh, someone else is going to teach me level 2. So there is no right or wrong necessarily. It's based on a resonance that you feel or a connection you feel with somebody. So there's a lot of great teachers out there, but there are a lot of bad ones. So you really have to use discernment to recognize whether or not that person has the right vision and has the right intentions. And do they care just about money? Are they talking from ego? Because some of these teachers, and I've seen it myself, will literally drain energy from people when they do attunements. And so there are bad ones out there too. You just have to use discernment, because there are a lot of great ones out there that teach wonderful healing. Sorry, I just went on a tangent right there. Valerie, will Reiki help breast cancer along with the new technologies? Absolutely. Reiki can help you with anything. But I just want to preface that it has a lot to do with your journey and what you've signed up to do, and your conscious mind your higher self making a decision that you want to heal from this. And this is a whole nother video that I could talk about for an hour, that you have to, on a higher level, be ready to heal yourself. So why are you getting Reiki? Why are you getting breast cancer? What is the lesson that you're trying to learn? And there's a lot of layers to it. But the short answer is absolutely yes, Reiki could heal. And I've seen it, I've done it, and others have done it. Yeah, Mary. Yeah, it's all about us. Mary is right. It's all about asking for permission and talking to the person's higher self and finding out what lessons have they learned. Are there more things that they need to learn from this? You know, people have free will. So I can't just come in and cure someone's cancer if they're on a higher level, don't want that. You know, that people have a choice, and maybe they're ready to leave the planet, and maybe they're done with their life. And who am I to come in and heal them if they don't want that? And that's where I'm talking about. The right healers know how to talk to the higher self to decipher whether or not the healing is necessary, if it will work, or if it's even wanted. So it's very important to ask for permission. Okay, I think I've done everything. I said everything I wanted to say. Maybe I'll do a part 2 later, and I'll give you a few more tips. But just if you're really interested in learning Reiki, and you want to try it on your own, please ask for protection. Please be clear about pulling in energy from a higher awareness. And then I highly encourage anyone watching that really wants to take it further, you find a mentor. It's really important. It's very, very important that you have somebody that's guiding you, that tells you the do's, the don'ts, the good things, the bad things, you know, all of it, because there's a lot to it. And so find somebody that you trust that can help you with it. So I hope this is helpful for you guys today. I really appreciate all of you watching this. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions, Sherri@intuitivewellnesscenter.com. And I hope all of you are divinely guided on your journey through Ascension. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.